Go ahead and get started with our status update meeting. Today's date is November 3, 2025. The time is 10 a.m. In attendance are Commissioners Eberline, Duncan, and Matari. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Are there any changes to the agenda? Hearing none. Public comment. Anyone wish to speak? Hearing none. We'll move into our first item. Number one, historic preservation update. It's a discussion and it's going to cover heritage markers purchase and history lecture series security. And Courtney Beebe.
Actually, I'll defer to our chairperson, John Miller.
All right, John.
Okay. Before you should have kind of a summary of some things, ongoing projects that we'd like to be able to fund out of fund balance. First request number at the top of $1,500 for courthouse security is sort of the celebration next year for the 100th anniversary of the courthouse. We have a slate of speakers pretty much finalized, and I've been working with Pete Briggs to kind of understand what we need to have for security, for screening downstairs and perhaps someone upstairs, and we have kind of arrived at a price per lecture of $150. We have, to do that, we have 10 lectures planned, and so we would respectfully ask to be able to fund that from fund balance. We also have, for request number 2, there is a July 3rd, as part of this lecture series, we're going to have Supreme Court Justice Cynthia Meyer do a brief address on July 3rd, the state's birthday, the day before the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence celebration. But we would like to be able to purchase and install a time capsule, and we'll be talking more with you about what might go into that, from what the board might want to include as part of that. Dedicate that. Cynthia is going to make a speech, and so we would ask to be able to fund that as well for this celebration. And then request number 3, website development or permission to use IT staff. We're interested in updating our website for various reasons, and Courtney can talk about that if she wants to jump in here. And it was, I think it's budgeted for $4,000 in fiscal 25. Then the funds were not expended, but we need to kind of visit with IT staff to direct us or a contractor to create a compatible site, and permission to maybe use the expend the money originally planned as part of the fund balance. Sorry about that. Or permission from IT staff to create a site using fund balance, okay? And of course, this accomplishes some of the goals that we had as part of the recently adopted Historic Preservation Plan. Goal number 1, create and maintain public available website containing all the things we think people need to have to understand what we're doing and the importance of historic preservation for the county. And then, of course, item 4, reprographics, printing, stamps, and pads. The tourism brochure is pretty much completed, and so Courtney has some for you today. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but it's much like with the National Park Service, where you get their passport series, you visit the sites, you get a stamp, and so we're interested in kind of completing that to kind of this to the end of cultural, historical tourism for the county, and allow people to take the time to visit all the museums and historical sites that are ongoing and offering, a service to the public, a tourism service to the public. So, anything for you to add?
I will answer questions. I'm sure you have some.
Thank you. Any questions?
Probably just a comment with IT. I don't feel comfortable obligating them, but I would say that historic preservation should go to them and say what they want to do, and then IT would be able to direct them in a better path. Like, yes, we can help you with that, or no, we should do a contractor.
Well, yeah, what kind of functionality do you want with this website? Is it just an electronic brochure, or does it have some sort of, you want to capture contributions, send out emails, or?
No, nothing like that. We do want to digitize the brochure and also have it a way for people to download it. We do need to have an interactive component to the historic preservation plan. Right now, there's just a PDF of the plan, but the plan was designed with hyperlinks in it. So we do want to have those available. We also need to be able to have the county IT update it with the inventory. So every year we will add on to our historic inventory or delete things from our inventory. So that needs to be updated. We give them the content, they do the work. Last year, we started looking for a contractor, and then Jonathan offered to do the website for us and work directly with IT because it looked like it could save us a lot of money to do that. But then, he left, so he wasn't able to finish that. I would like to get a contractor. We can do it for this expense. At the same time, it does need to be something that IT could at least once a year do an update on. So I do need their input and staff time to at least talk to them about that.
Well, I think if we could find a way to do this internally, because $4,000 is a lot of money for just an electronic brochure, and making a website now is pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward today. Then that probably would be a better way to go. I presume that the county would be hosting it?
Yes, yeah, you would be the host. And I think Leanna had made a suggestion at one point that if the IT department wanted to be compensated for the staff time, there is a way to access our fund balance to ensure that staff time is covered by our fund balance. And actually, I agree. I would prefer to do that than go outside.
What is the board's thoughts on this?
I'm curious, what's the total cost of this?
I don't know on staff time for the website what that would be. However, we did have budgeted up to $4,000 last year, so I think that would be between the IT department head and the board as to what you would put the expense as.
Because $4,000 is quite a bit of money.
Well, just for a simple website, I mean, you can set these things up pretty quickly and easily. So maybe our first step is just let's look internal first and see what we can do to set something up for you before we go outside.
I would agree with that. I would prefer to have
Agreed.
them do that if they're willing to.
All right, you good with that, Commissioner Duncan?
Yes.
Yeah. Commissioner Eberline?
Fine.
Okay, and then I have a couple other questions. The courthouse security, what exactly is that for? Is that like because you're expecting people to show up who might be disruptive, or is that for the building so that people can't just enter the building without going through some screening?
That's correct. We intend to have our lecture series. I think I sent you, have you seen something like this? And we have planned for next year 1 lecture a month in the big courthouse upstairs. We've been talking about this for about 15 months. We finally got everybody except for one last one confirmed. Next step was to get with Peter and talk about security. And so they are responsible for keeping the courthouses secure. As we talked through this, we talked about maybe getting sheriff's deputies to help us on a volunteer basis, which has been offered. Peter just said technically they don't have any authority in the courthouse, so it really needs to be us. And so if we can conduct these lectures upstairs in the big courthouse, there has to be security. So that is involved with screening at the front door. And then I asked for somebody at the door upstairs to keep people from wandering up and down the halls. We'll have our commission there to help, but I really think 2 people is the minimum to get by. And so as we talked through the price, I said this needs to be accurate and correct. we're only going to get one chance to get this approved. If they approve it, we can't come back and ask for more, so we need to get this right. And this is the number that we came up with, about $150 per lecture. They'll have to pay their staff probably 2 hours of overtime each, and that's the rate, that's what that will cover. And the timing is that we will arrive at 5 o'clock, do setup, the lecture starts at 5:30, runs from 5:30 to 6:30, and then people will file out, we'll break down and be out of there by 7 o'clock. And so that's the time frame within which the lectures will occur. Probably on the either third Thursday or the fourth Tuesday of the month. And they're in agreement with that that's going to be okay. Some of the lecture topics, just so you understand, Kootenai County origins and county seat wars, how all of that happened 125, 130 years ago. Courthouse site history and evolution, the courthouse and true crime. We're going to focus, have a lecture focusing on the courthouse architect and architecture, and then just general design expression of courthouses throughout the West as we settled and established law and order. Evolution of law and practice in Kootenai County. First District Bar day-to-day operations. On July 3rd, as I talked about, we're going to have the America 250 celebration. Commissioner Duncan suggested we try to partner with the city, and that request is in. Also with their historic pres group too. And so we're waiting to hear on that, but Supreme Court Justice Cynthia Meyer committed to us early on for an activity on or around the 4th of July, and so we thought that we would maybe keep the 4th of July for parades and barbecues and stuff like that, but it might be fun to have it on the state's birthday on the 3rd and then dedicate the new time capsule. What we would like to buy for that time capsule is about a 24 by 36 by 12-inch deep capsule, stainless steel and sealed, and so that's why the expense. They're fairly expensive in that size. In August, we have a lecture on women in the law planned. September, history of law enforcement in Kootenai County, and then there is some anticipation that we'll have also a bench bar presentation in October. And then November slot is open, and we're trying to figure out a topic to wind this down because the courthouse was dedicated in December 1926, but with everything that goes on in December, we didn't think we would try to compete with school plays and Christmas parties and pageants and things like that. But we thought this would be a good way to kind of introduce people to the courthouse celebration, let the First District Bar tell their story. A lot of people don't understand our court system, how it works, what it takes to actually have a court system. You guys have just finished a huge project to that end, you know, and so we hope that there's some interest that we can get people to come in. And this venue, I think as we talked about it, we thought we could have it in here, but we also thought maybe in the courtroom upstairs would be maybe a better way to kind of create some interest in the project. So that's a quick summary. We do have a press release. We're trying to clean up. I'll get this to Sarah and get this back out to you guys so you can look at it. I'd like to maybe have you guys give me a mother may I before we send this out, but we would like to start letting the public know what we're up to.
Thoughts?
Kind of excited. We've been talking about this for a long time. So I'm excited that it's finally here. Can't believe it's finally here, but
And then as far as the time capsule goes, you're going to dig up the old one, the one that's buried right now, inspect the
find it.
contents.
We have to find it first. We think
Okay.
it's in the cornerstone of the building, and so there is some effort involved with that, probably working with county building staff to talk about that. But the price, I think, is to probably have some excavation done and then some concrete.
We
and
want to
some
be
other
sure to make sure that we don't cave something in.
stuff. Right. And
So find it, and then what? Inspect it, and then put the stuff back in the ground for future generations, or what is the plan here?
Well, we have a subcommittee working on what could be included in the new time capsule, and obviously what we do with the existing one, we would take direction from you or input from you as to what you might think. Depends what's in it, number one. And I think there's a collective decision that would be made. And so preservation, or maybe it is a traveling exhibit that goes around the county to all the historical societies and the Museum of North Idaho, and people get a chance to take a look at it. But since we don't know actually what's in it, I think it remains to be determined, wouldn't you say?
Okay.
Do we have a time capsule already?
Do we have an existing one?
Yes.
We think we do, but we've got to figure out how to confirm that. And so we've talked about all kinds of
Because in the old
things.
days, that was new for them, so it's,
Yeah, right.
And the time capsule that we did price, it's $2,300. It is made of a material, it's a large
Stainless steel.
stainless steel box that is made of material and designed so that it will last a long time. So when we put things in one and we bury one, it will last.
Are typically time capsules just done on the 100-year mark, or is there variation?
Variation. It's my understanding that it was very common for the Masons in the Masonic Temple to, kind of bless a building on its construction by placing a time capsule underneath the cornerstone. And so that's where we believe that this was done at the county courthouse.
so the Masons.
It was the Masons, we believe, that did that, yes. And it was very common for that to happen.
I know
I'm not a
sometime
fan of
in the late
Masons.
1980s, there was a time capsule dedicated in City Park, so it's not always on the 100th year of something. They had found a time capsule and found the contents, and then came back and decided at that time in that same year to do another one. And they put all kinds of stuff in it, softball bats and softballs and a whole host of other things, memorabilia from Playland Pier and on and on and on. So, and that's down under the ground in the park, very near where the old USO building once stood.
All right, well, thank you. Unless anyone on the board has anything else to say, it sounds like you have direction
Okay.
to proceed.
And we did bring copies of the brochures if you'd like to review them. So this is, there are a couple changes we've been notified of, but that's what we'll be printing and issuing in the spring as part of the tourism season kickoff. We did print 500 already, and they disappeared within 4 weeks. So it was very popular.
All right, well,
I think
thank you.
this picture looks way different from what it is now.
Yeah, that's not Cedar's restaurant anymore.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, on to item 2. These are advisory board applications. It's a discussion, and Sarah Masters.
Sarah Masters for the record. Before you are the list of the applications received so far for the different advisory boards. Similar to last year, we don't necessarily have enough people for each of the vacancies. So I'm just looking for direction if there are people that you would like to appoint from any of these lists or interview from any of these lists, and then direction on how you would like to go about looking for additional applicants.
I don't have a copy of that.
Thoughts, anybody? We're lively today. I'll start. We don't really have that many applicants. We don't have an abundance of them, and it's still early. We don't have to make our decision today. So I would propose that, especially given the fact that a lot of people are now spending their time and energy on the election that is going to occur tomorrow, that we put out again that we're looking for applicants for these various boards and see if we can't drum up some additional applications and then make our decision next month.
think that'd be a good idea. We have time.
Commissioner Duncan?
That's fine.
So would you like me to put this on the first status update meeting in December?
That's fine, and then I would propose, with the board's approval, that we put out a little statement for the media, and then, approach some of the online sources, and just ask if they would put out a notification. And everyone on the board would see it.
Can we make a comment?
Come on down. The light is already green, but when you're done, you can turn that off.
Thank you. We do have an applicant for the Kootenai County Historic Preservation Commission. Her name is Liz Booten. Liz is actually already attending meetings and volunteering on our courthouse photo exhibit project. And we reviewed her application and met with her on our last meeting in October. We do recommend her appointment. The photo exhibit must be completed by May. And since she's already working on that with us, it would be convenient to allow her to participate fully in the commission and in our meetings, so that she is expending her volunteer time appropriately and we can account for it. And this is not a new or a renewal. Russ Brown passed away, and so we do have a vacancy currently, and it would be helpful to have a full commission as we go into all of our activities for this year. So we just do recommend approval of Liz Booten.
She's submitted her application. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, well, we can still make that decision next month.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. We would appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, anyone have anything else to discuss on this?
Well, the only other thing would be if we have, if we have a board that has enough applicants and we're satisfied with the applicants, I'm fine with bringing that board forward. And then really focusing on the boards where we don't have enough
Yeah.
applicants.
That I would well, I'm not even sure I would agree with that in the sense that, if we don't have to make the decision today, why are we making the decision? Especially if an applicant comes in from additional marketing. I would hate to shut that door, especially because people are, again, a lot of people are focused on the election, and I've talked with some folks who are heavily focused on the elections, and they would like to at least put the word out to see if anyone would like to apply.
I think that's good.
Does the board want to discuss a budget for advertising this? Because as of right now, we've spent $0. It's all been through social media. Something for the newspaper would most likely be a cost. Any other boosting that we do on social media would be a cost.
I'd propose, let's see who might pick it up first, and then if no one picks it up, then we can discuss it with the board if we want to put some money behind it.
Agreed.
All right, thank you. Next up, item 3, early closure Christmas Eve. It's a discussion item, and Commissioner Duncan.
Last year, we allowed the departments to choose if they were going to shut their doors at 3 on December 24th. This year, it's on a Wednesday. And so I would propose that we kind of adopt the same thing that we had last year for this year. And I included the letter in the packet.
Commissioner Eberline?
I'm fine with that.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'll have staff put the notice out.
All right, that concludes our business. Public comment. Anyone wish to speak? Hearing nothing. 10:24, meeting adjourned.